You are listening to the Outlaw Podcast with me, your host, Andrea Hall. I am a certified equine gestalt coach, speaker, 3-time author, and lawyer. I help women lawyers who are miserable in their career, struggling with mental and emotional health issues, wanting to have fun in their lives, and struggling to be selfish. After fulfilling my dream of being a criminal defense attorney and opening my own law practice right out of law school, I thought I had it all. While at the height of my career, my 18-month-old puppy died, and I thought, what am I killing myself for? Sometime later, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and my world turned upside down. It was in that moment I realized something had to change. This podcast is about sharing my journey with you about what is possible in your life outside the legal profession, stopping the adulting and being able to play as a child, inspiring you to dream again. Let the journey begin.
Welcome back to another episode of Outlaw. I'm your host, Andrea Hall. In connecting, I create balance. Over the weekend, I had the opportunity to participate in mock judging for potential and future contestants for Miss Colorado. Wow, did I learn so much. The ability to just be in the present moment and listen without having to respond with an answer or the desire to be right. First of all, that wasn't the only thing I learned. I learned that the Miss Rodeo America pageant system is completely different than the America or the USA system in the pageant world. And what it takes to get these young ladies to that experience. They don't have to necessarily hold a title. There's no consistency between counties, as well as there's no consistency from state to state. So it was somewhat amazing to watch that someone could become Miss Colorado, Miss Rodeo Colorado, or Miss Wyoming Colorado. Miss Rodeo Wyoming, and that the two states had different requirements even to get to that position. So it was very interesting to watch this process unfold and some of the questions that they potentially had to answer. And I have experienced pageants and modeling since I was a little kid, and I've always loved the experience and the connection that I received through the years of participating in this program. And what specifically it taught me about myself through those years is how to make eye contact, how to be poised, how to be in control of my body, how to be able to answer questions while on stage in front of people without knowing what the question was going to be, and be able to do that intelligently. It gave me confidence to speak in front of audiences. I think that's one of the reasons why I've been very comfortable being a trial lawyer and speaking in front of juries, as well as speaking in front of classrooms and other audiences that I've participated in, just for the simple fact that it has given me that confidence and that ability to hold myself and be poised at the same time. And what I discovered about these young ladies is that they too were developing this eye contact, the ability to answer questions that they weren't necessarily ready for, to be poised and to answer those questions that are about current events and answer them with conviction and to be able to hold their position with that conviction. And one of the questions that I asked these young ladies was, what is the number one problem that your generation is facing? And the response that I got from every young lady was the lack of connection and communication skills. The dreaded cell phone, the internet, and how it was hurting their generation. And don't get me wrong, both of these two things have been very helpful and have taken communication to another level in my lifetime. Yet their answers were right on. And the response that I got from them is that they get it. They get that the cell phones and the internet are a problem, yet they don't know how to fix it. And I can relate to this. And I think so many other things are very similar to this, right? It is not just this topic of knowing there's a problem and not necessarily knowing how to fix it. You're not able to use the same mentality or mindset to fix a problem that already exists. You have to be able to think differently and think outside the box in order to solve that problem. And our cell phones have taken away so many things, right? They've taken away watches. They've taken away computers. They've taken away radio. And that's just to name a few of the things that we've become accustomed to holding in our hand and having at our fingertips, right? They've gotten rid of the alarm clocks. So many things that we once had, we've now become dependent on this little device. And, for me, these things, also have an advantage, yet it is easy for people to hide behind something like their cell phone or a computer screen when it comes to communication. And our generation and the younger generation will never know what it's like or what it's not like to communicate with someone instantaneously from anywhere in the world with a click of a button. For me or my parents or my grandparents, that didn't exist. You weren't able to log on to your cell phone or your computer and be able to talk to somebody in Honduras or in Egypt or, Costa Rica, Hawaii, without picking up the phone. I remember being in college and waiting for 9 o'clock to come around or waiting for the weekend to come around so that I had unlimited minutes so that I could talk on the phone and not use the limited minutes that I had on my cell phone service. And now it's normal to have unlimited minutes, unlimited data, to be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, downloading videos from YouTube, watching movies for hours on your phone. That's not something that is an anomaly anymore. That's pretty common in mainstream. Unfortunately, this is hurting not only the younger generation, however, my generation as well. And I'm wondering if you can relate to that feeling of disconnection because we're so attached and connected to our cell phones and the internet and all of the apps that you can have access to on a minute by minute basis. And I remember loving talking on the phone and meeting in person. Yet I too find it sometimes just easier to drop a quick text instead of actually picking up the phone or meeting in person and having that face-to-face conversation, that real heart-to-heart connection. And, I still send my grandparents a card, yet for the most part, this is a lost art these days. I think if I asked my nephew how to address an envelope and to write a letter, I don't know that he would have a clue. I don't even know if they actually teach that in school anymore. Yet I know that my grandparents really appreciate getting a card in the mail and getting a letter. And I actually appreciate it as well. I love when my grandma responds to a card that I've sent her and she shares with me what's going on. And, it can be very easy to just drop a quick text or email. Yet it sometimes feels so insincere. When was the last time you actually sent a letter or a card to someone and shared with them what was going on with you? For me, the connection is so important, and I learned about this connection at a very young age. The pageant industry taught me so much. Taught me so much about speaking in front of people and having a position and holding that position with conviction and being able to think on my feet and articulate a response that sounded intelligent and being really connected and holding that eye connection and feeling that connection heart to heart. And I was really proud and honored to be part of the event. And I look forward to meeting the new next Miss Rodeo Colorado. And my question to you is, do you find that connection helps you create balance? What types of things do you do in order to create connection? I would encourage you to share with me in the comments below what you do to create connection. And does that connection then create balance in your life? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Outlaw.
Thanks for tuning into another episode of Outlaw. There is life after litigation. If anything I said in this episode resonates with you, call for a free exploratory session to see how I can help you. My horses will give you instantaneous feedback, unlike traditional talk therapy. You will shift your awareness into real time with the help of a horse. The horses are like lie detectors, flushing out limiting beliefs with a swish of their tail, a shift of their 1,200-pound body, or a simple unwillingness to move. Horses have a way of seeing into the window of our souls. Horses have been connected to humanity since the dawn of time. Their hearts can heal and mend our broken hearts. Simply standing in their presence can change our lives forever, putting the puzzle pieces back together and returning us to wholeness. Horses are restoring the parts of us that have been missing. You can call us at 970-682-4405 to set up your appointment today. Want to be inspired daily? See about our latest events or purchase a copy of my books? Go to our website at www.witherswhisper.com. That's www.witherswhisper.com. Or you can follow us on any social media venue at Withers Whisper. Until the next episode, listen to the whispers.